Before I moved to Ireland, I thought I was prepared. Spoiler alert, I wasn't. From missing my family time to arriving during night at Dublin airport without Wi-Fi, bus tickets to come to Galway, no roaming pack, or even not having the confidence to ask anyone. It was completely chaos. In this video, I'm gonna share all the mistakes which I have made so that you don't have to repeat them. Stick around by the end because you will know exactly what to do before you board that flight. But before, hey friends, I'm Tanmay. I moved to Ireland as a graduate from computer science to pursue my master's degree in business analytics in 2022. And since then, I've gone from a clueless student to now working as a full-time data analyst and building my life here. And on this channel, I help people like you to make your moving abroad journey smoother through mindset, strategy, and raw personal experience. So, let's get into it. Preparing before you leave. So when you have taken that decision to move abroad, then there are no backseas. So before making that decision, I would recommend getting 100% clarity about, yes, this is something which you want to do internally. And I know I've like every single video which I make about, moving abroad tips and things, the first part always has to be the why. Like, why do you want to move abroad? And it is very important. And I think because if you don't know why you're moving, there's no clarity on that, then first of all, then the entire manifestation, or if things go wrong, then you would blame someone else, which I don't want, because the intrinsic motivation should always be there, and hence you should focus on the why. Research about the universities, talk to people from different countries which you want to go to, the universities where someone is studying. It's very easy these days to just connect on LinkedIn, ask to people and get on a call, and then get to know them and ask all the questions like how things will be. But don't ask the basic stuff, but you can ask things like how is the day-to-day work-life balance, or how difficult it is to land a job and stuff like that. So once you have that, and once you start making the application, then there are no backseas, as I said. So then you have to now focus on all the documents. So in 2020, I was planning to move in September 2022. I started the preparation in 2021. I started right from getting a passport because I had no passport, and then slowly getting my IELTS done, then starting the application, applying, and by January I had everything. By 2022 January, I had the admit letter from one of the universities, and I chose to go with that. But the letter was unconditional because I was still studying in my last semester for my computer science degree, and the condition was I have to submit the final last semester mark sheet before they give me the unconditional offer letter. And for visa, I still book the visa appointment with this unconditional letter, and luckily I was very lucky that I got my results just before the visa appointment, and the day before I got the unconditional letter from the University of Galway, and then I was able to make the application. But now things are different. It's not that easy. You don't have to gamble, so you have to plan everything in beforehand, and just make sure that you have all the right documents. I've already made a bunch of videos about it. You can watch them here somewhere, it will be linked. But prepare well, plan all the documents. Don't be like me. The stress is insane, anxiety is insane. Thankfully I had someone who helped me out, the consultant. Kudos to her. But this is something which you should be focusing on, have everything prepared. Then spend time, spend at least 1 to 2 months with your family. Back then I was running this freelancing web development agency. I won't say freelancing, it was kind of like an agency with 4 other people who were working as an intern. But that is something which I was focusing on clients and everything, because it was the initial days, and it was 2 years down, and still I was running the hamster wheel and managing clients and stuff like that, which made me ignore my family or the loved ones, to spend time with them, because I wasn't aware of the fact that after a while this will be gone. I won't be sitting at the same dinner table with them. Everything I would have to do alone. That is something which I regret, and everyone who asks me if there is one tip, I would be like, this is the one tip. Spend the maximum amount of time you can with your family, with your loved ones, friends, because that's not gonna happen again until the next time you visit, and things won't be the same. So trust me on this, just focus on that. Second is stressing. I know you are moving from one country to another country, completely new place. You are uncertain. Probably you would have taken a huge loan for it. Things are very uncertain, and no wonder you will be stressed out. But see, you have already taken the steps. Your stress won't magically get your loan paid off or something like that, right? So there's no point in stressing. Enjoy this journey, right? Starting is very exciting. Just be happy with it. Spend, as I said, spend time with your family and be happy while you're on the journey. And one more thing I would like to add is comfort is much more better than saving here and there. So the best example is I chose Emirates even though I was booking the flight just 2 weeks before because of the whole visa fiasco. But that ticket costed me a lot, like 65,000 something INR. But still I chose Emirates because the other airlines like Lufthansa, or I won't take names, but like Turkish Airlines, those I've heard a lot of stories where the luggage is missing and the flight is delayed, the flight got cancelled. So many issues, right? So you don't want to run into these issues if you know them that they will happen. Try your best to make the first journey smooth, because this is the first time you are moving from one country to another. There would be n number of struggles anyways down the line, finding part-time, finding full-time, loneliness, everything. So don't make the initial journey very much difficult. Don't look at the money initially, 10,000, 15,000. I completely understand that it is a lot for someone coming from a middle class background. I come from the same background and I can completely resonate. But if you want to take this opinion or advice, do not stress and always choose comfort over this. Because I'll tell you what, as I said, I had no roaming plan, no Wi-Fi accessibility was there within the airport, but outside there wasn't. I didn't book any bus tickets. Like, that is completely unprepared or foolish of me that I didn't do it, because I was like, why would I pay 2,000 for just a week of roaming plan or whatever the price was. Came out, I was waiting at the bus stop for the bus, and whenever the bus arrives there was free Wi-Fi in the bus. So that's how I connected, got the ticket. And then I asked some random dude who happens to be a bus driver as well, that hey, I want to reach to Galway, would you be able to help me? And then he was like, oh, I'm driving this bus, you can come with me, you can get the ticket at the next bus stop. He was generous enough to give me a lift, and then I took the ticket, and then he dropped me off at Galway. That's insane. It's just I got lucky. I should have planned things earlier and not looked at the roaming charges and all that. Please, always, like in this initial journey, I would highly recommend anyone spend a little bit extra for the comfort. Now when I say comfort, I don't mean like go business class or go get a lounge or access or something. The basics. Do not compromise on the basics and the comfort. So I think, yeah, that's one thing which I would highlight. Initial first days, I arrived at the Dublin airport, and after the whole airport fiasco, reached Galway around 1:30 or 2-ish. Walked from there until my hostel. I mean, it was just 5 minutes walk, but new country, everything was pitch dark, silent, quiet. And I was so scared with 2 big bags and 1 cabin bag and a backpack. It was insane. No network, no internet connection, because I had no roaming plan. So what I did was, while I was getting off the bus, I used the Wi-Fi to see where the hostel is, which I booked, because I had no accommodation. Again, that is something, housing crisis, I had no idea about it until just a month before I was leaving. So again, unprepared from my end, and it was insane. So I finally reached the hostel around 2:33 a.m. Well, actually it was 3 a.m. Sorry, now I remember, because that they were about to close the check-ins, and I was just arrived in time. Put the bag in the luggage storage counter, like in the storage room, and then just went up on the bunk beds. And there is no system in hostels like, oh, this bed is dedicated to you. Whatever bed you find empty, take it. That was the rule. And I was like, oh, this is something weird, because I've never stayed in an hostel. So went there, just crashed, and that was the first day. That was the first night actually. Then the next day I went to the university, because the lectures were already started. I was late, 2 weeks late to join my cohort. Went to the university, a friend took me there, and he was like, there's university Wi-Fi, but he forgot to tell me that you need an internet connection first to enroll yourself on the Wi-Fi, and then get that university Wi-Fi access. And then he just left for his lectures. and I was stranded there, and I had no Wi-Fi access. I was like, shit, now what do I do? But I one thing which is, because we are gamers, like I'm gamer and all that, I know the maps very well. Like I recognize buildings and stuff. So I started following back, and then followed back to my hostel, to the city center from the university. Went there, got the Wi-Fi access, DM'd the friend and said, dude, I have no Wi-Fi access. Please, I'll meet you again at the same spot, but please help me, give me the hotspot and I'll set things up. Then I got the SIM from Tesco, and then things happened, and then now I'm using 48. By the way, if you want to use the SIM, it's really good for students. 48, it gets delivered. You can order it pre-hand before boarding your flight. Like, let's say, ideally you can order it a week before, so that once you're here, you already have the SIM card. The link is there in the description. If you want, you can check it out. But that experience was insane. So again, goes back to saying, choose comfort over this money thingy. Now, part-time and university life. Touchwood, for me, finding a part-time was not that big of a deal, because back then maybe the number of students coming here was not, that much, and the recession was just hitting Ireland. So people were still getting jobs. The entire cycle, which is the previous batch graduates, then they leave for full time, and then the new batch takes the part-time roles. So that cycle was still there. It wasn't broken, and like what it is right now. So I did apply to a lot of Dunstore, Lidl, and all that, and gave my CV in few of the bakery shop, coffee shops, and all that. Didn't hear back from them. But then on a random day, my roommates, oh, by the way, after 2 weeks, I found this house through connections, and they were like subletting it for temporary for 3 months, just to check if the person is good or not. And of course I was. So they were like, okay, you can live here for like however long you want. And then I stayed with them. Those were the best days, because even now it's good, but they were the first ones whom I connected with. And the couple who was hosting me, made the environment so friendly, so homely, that I never, felt homesick in the initial days. And I would just like to thank them, taking an opportunity through this channel, that thank you so much for hosting me. And just forgot this, so I thought I'll mention it. So coming back to the story, so one of the housemates, she got an advertisement of Aldi part-time, and then she forwarded on to me saying like, oh, you are looking for part-time, you can apply here. I applied it. The store was just 5 minutes walk from my place, and I was like, bam, done the interview, got in, and that's how I started with the part-time. It's another story that it was very hectic, like waking up 4 in the morning and all that, but hey, it was paying my bills. I can't be bad mouthing about it. I have to be like, I am grateful for that, because that paid my bill, and I didn't have to use then the loan amount and everything. So it was like a really awesome experience. So that's how the part-time went. It is really tough to land a part-time these days, because of the entire cycle which has been broken, and a lot of students are coming here. But see, you can still get one through referral, through networking, and it's all about networking. I'll come to that part later on as well, but that's how it works. Then for the university life, I enrolled into n number of clubs, like literally a lot of clubs, but never really showed up in either of them, because I was too busy with my 4 a.m. shifts, focusing on assignments, because I have to score well. And third was my loan amount, which was burdening me with, oh, you have responsibilities, Yeah, sure. But what I would recommend is still join those clubs, show up, make connections, talk to a lot of people outside Indians or outside your community, because come on, you moved for a global perspective, right? So why are you now staying in your comfort zone? Try to get out of your comfort zone and see if this is your comfort zone. If you stay out, like if you move out, then now this will be your comfort zone. So that's how it works. So that is one thing which I would recommend doing. Make connections, join clubs, talk to people, because one thing I regret is this formal education. I think this will be more or less, it will be the last time you will be having this formal education. So enjoy it to the max. Go out, do night outs. I would highly recommend doing it, because when I meet people from my batch or the next batch or even previous, They have so many stories to tell about their university days. And here I am, I only have like few weekends or my France trip or something like that. Only those stories I have. So collect memories as much as you can. Do not, like, I know you will be stressed part time, everything will be difficult, but this is one thing I would recommend. If I wish someone would have told me that, dude, everything will fall into place, just gather memories, because those will last. Money, literally money comes and goes. Gone, like spent time will never come back, but the spent money can be bought back. So that time is very essential, so spend it with like-minded people. Go out, talk to, again, I'm just repeating the same stuff, but this is what it is, and trust me on that, it will help later down the line. So I did it after my graduation, once I got the job and everything, but I wish I would have done it during my coursework. And since we're talking about memories, I would highly recommend documenting every single thing, like capture through photos, videos. I didn't had the luxury to have an iPhone, but still, it's good to have a decent phone, because these days any phone has a decent camera. So capture all the photos, videos, because when you go back, or when it comes up as memories 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, you just get a walk through your memory lane, and it's insane. Like, I have this habit of journaling. Back then it was not consistent, but I still have few journals over there, like if you see there, yeah, which is from 23, 24, 25 this year, but previous as well. And when I look back at those, it's just so insane. Like if I just randomly, I can open any page and I can read, like, and see what I was thinking on that particular day, what happened on that particular. So it's just insane. Have memory. I mean, yeah, maybe it costs storage and stuff. You can get a HDD. It's cheaper, like 7,000, 8,000 something. You get 2 TB of storage, and it's more than enough. Again, spend a little. I am telling you all the luxury things. It's not luxury. Trust me, when you're sitting here and then you look back, you'll be like, I should have had a photo with that particular friend of mine. Just make sure that you're capturing all the memories through, documenting. You can type it out. You can use Notion, like Second Brain. So here, like, I have a tab called Second Brain where I store everything, and it goes back as 2023 when I learned about it. So yeah, like, have documentation. So yeah, like, it's very basic. When I say documentation, you don't have to like create a content or stuff. You can just put a voice note as well. It works. It's fine as well. Just put a date on it, voice note, done. Click a photo, click a video, done. And then you can maybe organize it yearly, monthly, or whatever in your hard drive, and that will save on storage as well, because then you have to just get one hard drive and it's fine. So yeah, do it. Yeah. Lessons on confidence, communication, and family. I have never boarded an international flight until 2022. When I moved from India to Ireland, that was my first international, actually the first flight experience I've ever had in my life. I had no clue how to tie the seatbelt and all that, so I was so underconfident. And with my English speaking skills, because in India, English is not the first language. It's not our first language. It's usually second or third. And coming to a country where English is the first language, it is so much that, I have to be grammatically correct, or I need to know the right vocabulary. Am I speaking correctly or whatsoever? But over the years, one thing I've learned is, it's not about the right words, or you need to know the fancy vocabulary or stuff like that. It's all about, am I able to deliver what I want to say across through this camera, through content, or if I'm talking to someone, if I'm able to deliver what I want to say, if I'm able to convey my message. It's never about, vocabulary and the words you are choosing, or so on and so forth. Because even like, I've seen people, now I'm surrounded with people from Mexico, Spain, or around the world, who come here especially to learn English, and they aren't great speakers, but they have this inbuilt confidence in them. Like, compared to 2022 version of myself, and now the one who was even afraid of getting up in a flight, using the wash, or even eating meals that I have ordered myself, because I was too underconfident that how would it be if I eat, people will judge how is he eating and all that, because I didn't know the etiquettes and all that. So it doesn't matter. No one really cares. First thing is that no one really cares, and second is, as long as I said, as long as you are able to deliver the message, it's completely fine. You don't have to have the right vocabulary or the right grammar. Maybe on this channel, through these videos, I have made tons, or I might have made tons of mistakes while speaking. It's fine. Even in my recent video, the message which I was trying to deliver, I wanted to say was, you have to renew your stamp for once every 2 years, but it went as, you have to renew your stamp for twice every year, which is a blunder. So it happens, things happens, you make mistakes, you are a human being, you are allowed to make mistakes, so it's completely fine. At any point of time, do not underestimate yourself. Just be confident in yourself, because if you are not believing in yourself, no one else will. And trust me on this, swear by it. The best tip I would like to give if you want to improve your communication is, what you can do is turn on your camera, like this one, or phone camera, hold it, record yourself, and what you have to analyze is, first lock your phone, turn it down or whatever, play the video, turn it down, and just listen to the audio and see how you're speaking. Is there any common words? Are there any filler words which you are using? For example, like, and just analyze those and then make a note of it. Now you don't have to act upon it. Now mute the video, watch the video, and see your facial expressions. Are you like, while you're talking, you're too serious, but you're talking something funny, then you have to make funny face, show the excitement and all that. So do it. And then the third step is, do both. Watch the video with unmute, and then now see if you are able to communicate well, if you are delivering the message which you are trying to deliver. Do it for 30 days and come back on this video, comment that how it changed your life. Trust me on this, I didn't do it like sitting down with this, but I am doing it since day one. If you watch my day one video on YouTube, it's still there, and the video now, there's a huge drastic change. I have made 150 plus videos. So that's the level of iterations I've done, sitting in front of the camera, analyzing every single word or every single sentence, the expression, everything which I'm speaking, this hand gestures, the way of explaining, the tonality, everything. And I'm still improving. So this helps. This literally helps. If you compare the first video and this video, you will understand. And if you want to try it out. That is definitely the best key. And every coach who helps with the speech and everything will ask you to do this exercise. Trust me on this. Or another thing is, you can put like this and read, or you can do tongue out reading. Check it out. You can also do humming and exercises, all that. But if you think you are facing issues with that and you need clarity with your words, you need to improve your tonality and all that, then these 3-4 exercises will help you out. You will be sorted. Just do it every single day. It won't take more than 5 to 10 minutes. Just do it. Another thing I talked about was importance of family. So this is something which I realized. I have already talked in the initial part of this video that I was too ignorant to ignore that time spent with the family and all that, but it is actually very important. So being a son, being a guy, there's always this tension or misunderstandings between me and my dad. But always remember, no matter what happens, they will be the ones who will be backing you up. So never he would have mentioned that, oh, he's proud of me or something like that, but he always shares the photographs, my graduation pic, the marathon which I ran, in all our WhatsApp family groups, and that just says it all, right? So even if they're not, they're always looking out for you. Sometimes you feel like they're just nudging you for every single thing you make, or mistakes or anything, but it's just them trying to protect you. And this is something which I realized over the years. And if one thing which you would want to take from this video is just, family is the only core which will be with you no matter what happens. Networking and jobs. Initially, when I used to go for, now this is very interesting bit. I think you might know the story vaguely. If not, then here it is. There were career fairs organized by the university. 2-3 career fairs were organized during my entire period of studying here for masters. And the first 2 career fairs, I went there and picked up freebies, which I don't even use, like pens and journals and all that. So journals, fair enough, I use it. But like pop socket, all those things, I didn't even need it. water bottles. I just went there, got the freebies, came back, ate chocolates, done. Got the list of companies where I have to apply, the links, online links, done. No connections made, never talked to the HR or the booth over there. And then I was like, shit, what did I get out of this? Nothing. Just few links to apply, which I would have done anyways. So it's waste of time going to the career fairs. I didn't utilize or maximize the delta, which I usually keep talking about. So what you need to do is, in the third career fair, I was more intentional about it. I was like, okay, now I will go to the HR, go to the booth. I know they will ask me to apply online, but what I'll do differently is go there, walk to them, ask for their LinkedIn, ask for their email, and then send them my resume and say, hey, there is an opening which I'm planning to apply. Can you just give me a feedback on my resume so that I have the best possible way or the best possible chance to get in? And if you don't mind, if you could spend 5 to 10 minutes of your time to get on a call or grab a coffee, and then we can discuss how I can prepare for the interviews. This is something which one should do, because these are the people who have already done it before. So they will be more than happy to help you out, because they are there for marketing and hiring the best talent. So if you just show them that you are the best talent, that's how it will work. And in that third career fair, I went, talked to few companies, handful of them, and one of the HR I really connected well with. I just dropped her an email later on, and that got me an internship. That internship then turned into a full-time, then that full-time then turned into a sponsorship role, which I'm currently working as a data analyst. That is insane, right? So this is how you should approach networking. And I'll just give you another example. Since 2016, 2017, I started this entire business thing, white label clothing, or trading and all that, or developing websites for clients. I've never spent a penny on marketing. It was all word of mouth, maybe talking to people, and then they were looking for some of their relatives were looking for some work related to website, and they were like, oh, I know this guy. That's the power of networking. Joining BNI. So BNI is basically the business network in India. It was good, like talking to all the people. Every single person present in that room was owner of some or the other big businesses. So went there, talked, had a conversation with them, did networking, and that's how I used to get clients, through networking. Like if you ask me anything, like how did you get this, how did you get that, I could just pinpoint to that someone from my audience, or someone just recommended me that particular thing, or someone just showed the other person that this is the guy who can help you out. And I swear by networking. You see me talking every single time, and there are people who just comment like, this doesn't work, you're just bullshitting and all that. But this is the only thing which has worked since ages, because every single person is applying through LinkedIn, through emails and everything. What makes you different is the efforts which you put, or things you do differently. And the other part was, networking is fair enough. Now I hope I have made it clear that it is very important. But the other part is, you have to be vocal. If you are just sitting in a room developing, or even if I'm shooting this video and let's say I didn't hit publish, what is the use of making this video? Just for my own sake, that's it. But if I'm hitting publish, then maybe you guys are seeing it, which is great. Most of you will be finding it helpful. Then you can make your informed decision. That's the impact. The impact has been created. Or some brand will see it and be like, oh, he's wearing a Whoop, or maybe he's fitness conscious, and then we'll just sponsor him a t-shirt, maybe Lululemon or someone. And I'm like, sure, why not? But that's the power of being vocal. And even now, when I post on LinkedIn or stuff like that, I get inbound job offers that, hey, I see you're working as a data analyst, would you like to have a conversation, and stuff like that. That's the power of being vocal. You have to show what you're learning. It's not being a content creator, not the content creator image which you have in your mind, but actually what you have to do is just post about your experience. What project you are building, how are you doing it, what Python library you are using. So recently I built this application completely using ChatGPT. I just put it out, like these are the prompts I used, this was the problem I was facing, and this is how I solved it. It just shows your problem solving capabilities. Imagine a recruiter coming to your profile and he just sees that, rather than you have to explain or writing in your resume that, oh, I did problem solving, he can see clearly on your profile that, yeah, this guy just had a problem, he was paying to some subscription, he just built his own app which is curated for himself, done. And he used AI for that, vibe coding and stuff like that, so he's productive and he has the knowledge, he made some tweaks. How cool is that? So that's the power of, putting yourself out there. Because trust me, if you're sitting in a room, no one's gonna come and knock on your door saying, hey, do you want a job? You have to go out there, knock on people's door, and then find the best perfect fit, and someone will say, oh yeah, sure, come in. That's how it works. And just to summarize it, visibility is equal to opportunities. There's nothing like, it is directly proportional. Believe me or not, or just skip this video. Either ways, it's working for me, it has worked for a lot of people I know. So yeah. And by the way, thank you so much if you're watching this until this point. Thank you so much for watching it, and if you're liking it, just hit the like button, comment, the usual stuff. And let's move on to the next one. Mental health and loneliness. When you are living abroad, it's usually 70% of your time is spent alone in your head with your own thoughts. Fair enough, like you're going to work and stuff, but that's just 9 to 5. You'll have some colleagues, you'll have some connections, that's it. Once you're back home, you're cooking, going to the gym, you're alone, putting headphones or something, that's it. So the entire time you're lonely, you're alone. That's when you'll start to feel lonely, homesick, you'll miss your home and convenience and everything. So one best thing you can do is, as I said, network. So now let's say you did your networking in your university days, now you have a bunch of friends whom you can talk to, because we as humans are social creatures. We can't live individualistic life, but especially after 2020, COVID and everything, jobs are becoming hybrid. Entire life is online. Our friends are online, and especially if you're moving cities or countries, friends are online, relationship is online, family is online, work is online, business is online, everything is online. There's no one-on-one connection. And we, being social creatures, we need that one-on-one connection, that in-person network or in-person connection to, I don't know, there's something that happens beyond this camera or beyond the screen, 24-inch, 27-inch screen. That shared connection is only achievable when you go out there, when you talk to people, when you do networking, when you go to events, when you run a marathon, or you do some activity together, group activities. There's a reason why you succeed much more better. Like the likelihood of you working out really hard in a group setting is much more higher compared to you doing it on your own on treadmill or the stairmaster. Because again, we are social creatures and we seek that. And to solve the exact same problem, I have started this community map, moving abroad pathway, where you will also where you'll get the modules like loan, mindset and everything that's there. But the main baseline of this, the foundation of this community is to have in-person experiences, meetups, maybe runs, coffee chats, retreats, trips across the globe, be it in Ireland, UK, India, London, Australia, US. I'm gonna take this to global platform, and there will be online meetups as well. But if you are someone who is also thriving or seeking this connections, in-personal connections, because again, through networking and referral things work out really well, then you can just find the link in the description. You can sign up, join the waitlist, or if it's live, then you can join the community directly. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to build since a long time, and there it is. It's out there. Go sign up. Mimetic desires and emotional mastery. One thing I wish someone would have told me was, you always will compare yourself to someone else. There'll always be someone who is 10 times much better than you. But you don't have to focus on them. You have to focus on yourself. Are you 1% better than you were yesterday? If yes, then great, you're on the best track. Because you see, there is this concept called mimetic desires, which I've already talked about in my newsletters. If you want to subscribe, then again, the link is in the description to subscribe my newsletter. So it's like, let's say I have something which you don't have, and now there are two ways to think about it. One, you will desire that you want the same thing. or 2, you'll hate me, or you'll feel jealous, or like literally just hate me. Like there would be some arguments and all that. And trust me, I did the same. There are few creators whom I follow and I admire them, that they have millions of followers and everything. But sometimes if they show off some fancy watch, I'll be like, oh, he's just showing off. But actually it's just my jealousy or my rage talking about, because they have something which I don't. And that's the second part. Now the first part is, do I really want that watch, or that is my desire because it's just a status symbol, or because this particular celebrity is wearing it? So that there are two things in this entire mimetic theory. Like, we usually don't need 99% of the things which we think we need or are our desires, because mostly it's our desires. Like, someone is wearing it, hence I want it. Someone is having that job, hence I hate him, or stuff like that. So just be aware of this, and the best way to be aware of this or be mindful of this is journaling. I literally, swear by it. If you have any issues, journaling is the solution. Just dump your things there, dump your thoughts there, and you'll get a clarity after a year, and you'll get clarity after an hour session of journaling session and all that. You don't have to be fancy, or the prompts or like something like that. And journaling doesn't need to be like pen and paper. It can be typing out, it can be voice recording, it can be video recording, anything. But trust me, emotional mastery is the one thing, because all entire life, like growing up through education and everything, we are taught that you have to learn this hard skill, coding, building websites or something like that. But no one really talks about emotional mastery, because that is something which drives the entire thing. So focus on that, and the best way to do it is through journaling. And that's the main point of mimetic desire and the entire emotional mastery thingy. And comparing to other selves, again, as I said, they are running their own timeline, you are running your own timeline. And if you still find yourself comparing to someone, let's say, even like with the likes of a creator, for me, let's say they have 1 million subscribers, but to reach there, what they did was, there was a huge grind. So usually what happens is, we tend to look out at, oh, they have 1 million subscribers, we want that output, but are we okay to put in that input? Are we okay to get that struggle, go through the struggles which they went? If the answer is yes, then by all means go for it. Another example is, let's say I usually like start sometime, oh, I got a job before graduation and everything. That is good, you want that output. Sometimes you might hate me for saying it, but the 7-8 months where I was mentally broken down, where I was crying, I was planning to go back, I was trying to quit, I called my dad and everything. I'm not sure if you're okay with taking that. If you're okay with it, then by all means go for it, chase that. But we usually don't see those 7-8 months. Even if I tell you that it was very difficult, even if I told you like it was mental breakdown and all that, you won't believe it. You'll just, okay, yeah, that's it. You won't feel the pain actually if you don't walk that path. If you do, then of course you will. So it's very easy to judge at the output level, but being okay with the inputs, it's tough. And if you are okay with the inputs, output is coming for you. It's inevitable. You will get what you want. So finally, should you move abroad? 100% yes. But if you're okay with all these things, and I've already created one more video about harsh realities, you can watch that as well. So if you're okay with all these struggles and everything, trust me, if you think the difficulty level is here and you'll be able to manage it, it's not here. You can't even see the ceiling. It's really tough. So if you're okay with it, definitely go for it. By all means, it's the best changing decision. It was life changing for me. But again, you have to be okay with it. You should be okay with it. If not, don't take that decision. Just you'll be better off starting your business or staying in India in your job, progressing. That would be much better than moving abroad, taking a loan and stuff like that. And if you want to know how I got a job before graduating, here it is. You can watch this video here and see you in that one. Bye.